Hi everybody, this is your Cubmaster, Dan Fury, here to talk to you about rocket building. Now there are a few things that you're going to need. First, your rocket kit. I have it all laid out on the table in front of me, but there's a few other things. You're going to need a sharpened pencil, with an eraser comes in handy. You're going to need a ruler. Doesn't have to be one like this, but this or smaller. A little bit of Scotch tape, some sandpaper, a small paper clip, some toothpicks, and some wood glue. Now, it's also helpful to have something that you can place the rocket on that's got a little bit of a wedge cut. I have these because I've had them for years, and they work really nice, but you can use even a little box. Anything that will hold the rocket from rolling as you glue the fins on, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Now, as you open up your rocket packet, you will see you have a body tube, two parts that go for the nose cone, a little green ring. This is your engine stop. A yellow tube that we have to do some marking on for measurement. A guide tube, it looks like a little piece of straw. Your recovery ribbon, and a shock cord. You also have these wooden fins. Sometimes the balsa wood tends to break, and you want to take those fins and gently separate them from the extra pieces of wood. So you have 1, 2, 3 fins. Okay, I'm going to put those together and keep them in a nice spot. You should also have instructions. These are not the instructions you want to follow. You want to follow these instructions, and we're going to be having a video for each day. So, now that we have all of the items, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to open up the instruction page to the very first page. And you will see on the first page, see, you saw all the instructions. I reworked these instructions to better fit the way you should do the work. At the very bottom, you have this rectangular piece you need to cut out. That is the fin guide. Over here, this is for your shock cord that you glue inside of your body tube at another stage. So follow me closely as I cut these pieces out. Now, I'm using a penknife. You can use, because I'm here at camp and I don't have scissors. If you're at home, use scissors. This is something I would have the adult do, not the scout. So you want to cut out the shock cord mount along the solid lines to make sure that it looks like a trapezoid. Does it have to be perfect? No. And considering I'm cutting on a picnic table, it is not going to come out perfect, but it is close enough. Now, I will tell you that you want the fin guide as perfect as possible. So I'm going to double up my paper so I have a few less ridges, and I'm going to cut along the outer edge, starting on the two sides first. Now I'll go to the one end. Now if you notice on this one, there's an end that has some stripes on it. That end you want to keep. So you're not cutting here, you're cutting here, because this is your part for overlap. So now that I've cut that out, I'm going to close up my knife. I no longer need my knife. As I say that, I rip my page. Well, you know, it happens, but I can work with it because I've done this many, many times. And hey, we're scouts, right? We adapt to our environment. Okay, I don't need this paper anymore, but I do need my fin guide. Now, as straight as my fin guide can be, being on this table, it'll work. I'm going to take my body tube and I'm going to take the fin guide and I'm going to wrap it around and overlap so that these 4 lines on either side are touching. This keeps my fins nice and straight, and this is where I'm going to use a small piece of tape to tape the fin guide onto the tube, and we're ready to go. Now, for you, you're going to use a pencil. For this demonstration, I'm going to use a Sharpie so that you can see these marks. Now, you will notice on the fin guide, you will see the letters FL and LL. The FL, there are 3 lines that say FL, 1 line that says LL. If you keep it down near the edge, you're going to put a small mark at the bottom and top of each FL line. Keeping the fin guide in place on the tube, make 2 small marks, again, where it says FL at the top and the bottom of the fin guide. On the LL line, only put 1 at the very top. I did not put 1 down here because the launch lug is actually going to get mounted further up here. Now, when you do that, you're going to slide the fin guide up so that the mark you made for the launch lug is now at the bottom, and you're going to mark it again at the top. So you see how I made that higher. The 2 lines are going to be very important later on. Okay, we're now done with this for now. I can now take the fin guide off. I no longer need it as my body tube has been marked with my fin guides. This is where something that has a straight edge, and I'm going to use this box and my ruler. I'm going to line up the 2 lines of the fin guide, and I'm going to connect them so that I can see them better. Keep turning, come back to the next 2. In the original directions, it shows using a door jamb. That is truly the easiest way to do it, but considering where I'm at, I don't have a door jamb to work with. I'm going to connect my next 2 set of fin lines. Notice my launch lug line, not touching that yet. Still working with my fin lines. Connecting all 3. Now my launch lug lines. I have the 2 lines so that I can make a straight line, but I'm actually going to put my line above that second line that I made. So I'm going to line them up, and about in the middle, I'm going to draw that line, and that's where I'm going to put my launch lug. This makes it nice and easy for everyone. All right, I no longer need my box, and I'm done with my fin guide for now, keeping the Sharpie handy. All right, next up, my fins. So I have my sandpaper, and you want to put all 3 fins together. When you look at the fins, you will notice these little tiny nubs, and these little nubs and this dark is where the fins were connected to the other pieces of balsa. If you keep the 3 fins together and you run them, count, ready? 1, 2, 3, it takes the nubs off. If you still see a little more, maybe you need 1, 2, 3, a little more, and you've taken most of the dark off and definitely the little nubs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all done. You're gonna do all 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and good to go. Now, this is the spot. The next part, you could leave it like this. But personally, knowing a little bit of aerodynamics, I like to trim down the top and outer edge. So I'm gonna hold it at an angle and go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All I'm doing is rounding off that edge a little bit. And that's all there is to it. Just rounding it off a little bit. Now, I am currently done with my fins. The next thing I need to do is, let me check my instructions, make sure I'm not getting ahead of myself. We did all the parts, we did the fins, and actually that will be day one. See you tomorrow.